Welcome to The Young, Bold, and Old. 3 generations, 1 conversation, a million lessons on life, love, and everything in between.
I'm Elenia. I'm in my 30s.
I'm Marche, and I'm in my 40s.
I'm Beth, and I'm in my 70s.
Ready to tackle your questions about life, work, kids, relationships, and whatever else you throw at us. No filters, no fluff, just laughs, stories, and a little too much honesty. Let's get real.
This is the young,
The bold,
And the old.
Today's first topic is, how do you handle criticism? I mean, I can always go first.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't think you should go first.
When I was younger, I handled it very poorly because I don't know, I just was very ego mentality, and how could I do anything wrong at a job if my boss was like, you need to work on this? And I'd be like, no, I don't. As I've gotten older, I realized criticism, whether if it's negative or positive, it doesn't matter. It's there to help you and you can learn from it. And actually, my 7th grade drama teacher taught me this. He said, treat life as a sponge, soak up everything, and then wring out the bad or what you don't necessarily believe in.
The excess.
The excess. Yeah. And so I'm like, I kind of like that approach because I like to listen to what everybody has to say, even if it's something that maybe I might not necessarily agree with, especially like when it comes to like work performances, or even when Aaron's like, hey, I would appreciate it if you didn't do this anymore. I can still listen to it, but then I kind of reflect on it. Is that something that I need to change? Is that something I should change? Or are they just being dumb and I don't need, but I handle it better now.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand who it's coming from, what the intentions are behind it, and there's context, right? But I think we should all be teachable and open
Absolutely.
to criticism. But if you see someone in your life who's doing something destructive or doing something that you think is, some people are not ready for criticism, so
Yes.
like, don't throw your pearls to the swine, right? Like some people just aren't ready to hear what you have to give them, and so you run the risk of hitting your wall there or having some conflict. And same with yourself, like maybe you're not ready to hear something, and years down the road you're like, thank God that person, like, you appreciate it down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
So kudos to people that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I cut you off.
No.
I think if you take it, listen to the criticism, and then just think about it and whether you think it's right or wrong. Just listen.
Just listen.
Yep.
You can go home and discern through it later.
Absolutely.
When like
Even say,
there's like in business, if I was trying to start this, like a preschool business, I'm not going to go to someone who's never tried to do that before and ask them for their advice. They're going to say, most of the time, you don't ask people who haven't been where you're going for advice.
Right.
If I'm going to ask marriage advice, I'm probably not going to ask the person that has a really unhealthy marriage,
Right.
or someone who has overcame. I'll ask someone who I've seen overcome unhealthy things.
yeah,
Right.
okay, how did you
Absolutely.
do it?
Yeah.
Find someone that's modeling something that I want and ask them for advice.
Absolutely. I agree. And I also think it's important when we give criticism too, because we also need to make sure that we're in a good space. Because if we're angry with someone and we're just offering criticism, is that actually helpful? Or are we just saying it from a negative space because that's how we are right now? So I think also, how do we handle criticism, but also how do we give criticism? And again, I think both should be handled where, you shouldn't be upset because that person is trying to look out for you or give you advice. In a professional world, I've learned so many different things because I've listened to other people say, hey, did you know that, you could do this a little bit differently and it would be so much better. It'd save you time.
Right.
Like I just started a new job and there's things that I'm learning that I've been doing this for 13 years now, but I'm still learning like new things, but I'm being open to it, and I criticize myself more than I feel like other people, like what's that saying? We're more harsh to ourselves, we're more hard on ourselves than, than we should be, but then other people are, and so like I'm 2 months in and I'm like, I tell Aaron all the time, I'm like, I am so mad at myself because I'm not in the place that I want to be with my learning. And my boss is like, "You're doing really good." And I'm all, "You have to say that." Like, and so
I don't have
right, yeah, exactly. But I just feel like I need to be in a better position. But that's my own self criticism.
We are our own worst critics.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just think with criticism, we need to step outside of our own personal egos and we need to be receptive to what people say. Now,
Yeah.
if we disagree with it, that's fine. I'm not saying that like listen to what everybody has to tell you, but again, treat
Yeah.
life as a sponge, soak it all in, drain out the excess so that you don't need.
And if you give it, when you're being critical to somebody or giving them information, make sure you're doing it nicely. Make sure you're not going to hurt their self-esteem, especially children.
Children especially.
Yeah, you have to be careful how you give your
Although there's some
criticism.
people that I'm like, you could probably use a healthy dose of some self-criticism.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, I got
Yeah.
it mostly kids. You have to be careful
with kids.
With kids,
With
yeah.
adults, some of them, it's like, yeah.
I think you need to be given some talk.
Absolutely. There are some people being told the truth. Like they're not self-aware. Like I love my brother, but oh boy, he is not my older brother. He is not a self-aware person. So I mean, I criticize him because one, he's my brother, and I can't, and two, he can handle it. And
Yeah.
sometimes he just looks at me and he'll come back with something like just like sounds sarcastic, and I'm like, okay. And then other times, I don't think he actually listens to anything I have to say. I'm just trying to help you, bro. Like you need to be made self-aware.
Yeah.
That's one thing about family. You can kind of do that.
Right.
More
Yeah.
so than,
In professional relationships, it's harder.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
With
But
kids, you have to, and it's, I guess, as someone, I think participating in team sports or any sports, I think it helps you build a little bit more tolerance and you're able to be coachable. I
Right.
think that's an important skill that gives you because, if you're wrestling and your coach is like, get your head up, and you don't get your head up, then you're going to lose. Like if you're riding your horse and your coach is like, get those heels up, they've told you a million times, like you have to be coachable and you have to have a little bit of a thicker skin with things that require that happen because there's a direct outcome, like there's results, right? So it's measurable.
It just made me think of something too with our kids because we should be teaching and coaching our children, but then there's the opposite of that too, where we never, and criticize is the wrong word, but we never tell our kids things. And so then they grow up and they have that kind of sense of entitlement of, well, I was really good, but that's because the mom was always like, oh, you did no wrong, honey.
Never.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And there was never any of those coachable moments, And so I think that's also important too with our children is we can still point out things and we can still say, criticisms, but it's just like how you're saying, how we say it to them. But those are definitely teachable moments because that shapes them into being more adaptable, respectable adults that can handle the real world because not everybody is nice.
not everybody's perfect either.
Exactly. And
it's okay if you're not.
yeah, exactly. And, if you become an adult and then you have a boss that's either one rude or two says that you're doing something wrong, you're going to be like, oh, it's going to be a shock to your ego and you're not going to know how to handle that, And so I think it's important that we also teach our children, that
Everybody's not going to be nice.
Right.
When they're telling you how to do it and when to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think, so the question is, how do you handle criticism? I think I kind of deflected. I don't think I really answered, but I think there have definitely been times, obviously when you're younger and your prefrontal cortex isn't developed and you're kind of dumb, you don't handle things maybe as rationally as you could have. I think I've always been an overly self-critical person. And I tend to focus on, like, these are the some people I think, and not in an unhealthy way, because I'm very grateful for everything in my life. I'm aware of all of the positive things that I have going, but I tend to ruminate on things that aren't going well. So
instead of the good things, more so on the.
And I still am grateful for the good things. But yeah, I can.
But you bring up what's not going right.
Yeah, like I don't shy away from bringing up things that are bothering me or things that I'm unhappy with, and I do think that it's good to be self-aware about things. But like a good example is there's so many examples. But I do think I don't know. How do you guys think I take criticism?
I think you take it very well.
I think now, I think back when you were younger, because I mean, I've only been in this family for 12 years. And so, but when I met you, I mean,
Yeah.
you were, and, and still learning things. And I mean, I was the same way too, but
I know it all.
yeah. And so I think like you were like me back then, like
Yeah.
you just thought that you knew everything. We had the ego. And so
Yeah.
how dare anybody say anything about it? And we're still trying to find out who we are. Right.
Yeah.
And like, what do we believe? What do we want to change? Like, so, I mean, going from your 20s to now your 30s, like you have changed so much. And like, I'm very proud of you for like just the things that you've done in the 12 years that I have known you. It's really cool to see the changes. I mean, for one, you were a vegan and now you're not. So
hallelujah. Praise God for that. From a city girl just hanging out in the city to having a small farm.
But yeah, I think now I think that you handle criticism very well. Like I think if I came to you or if grandma or anyone came to you and was like, hey, could we change this? I think you would be able to sit back and be like, okay, this is something that I do need to change, or this is something that maybe I could put in my back pocket and maybe think about a little bit more.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was the same way. I was very hot-headed and I was like, nobody will ever tell me what to do and what to change. And now I'm like, please tell me. Please tell me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
I think it's important for your personal, any growth in life, just to be able to listen to people's criticisms and critiques of you. And I think where I struggle the most is marriage, where we sitting down and it's hard for some reason. It's hard for me to be able to treat those conversations with my husband the same that I would treat it from someone talking to me about my business or about so husband would probably attest to that. He's watches be like,
but I think that's true because it's the people who are closest to us that their opinions matter the most to us. So I think that's why it hits a little bit different when it's our spouses that say something. Because like, I don't know, for me, I value Aaron's opinion a lot, and not saying that we agree on everything, but when he comes to me with something
emotionally,
I'm like, okay, versus some stranger on the road that was like, you drive terribly. And it's like my husband tells me that all the time. Like, so, but I'm better to like handle it, with strangers just because they also don't know me, where, with my family, and it's more emotional. It's more because
it is.
I value that connection more than some other relationship.
And I do a thing where I tend to try to point out my flaws before other people do. Like my ADHD or when I'm scatterbrained, I'm a little bit self-deprecating, and it's like, I know that I'm aware.
Instead of waiting for them to, which they might not even notice, and you bring it up.
Yeah, if you're kind of calling yourself out.
Right?
But no, I think everybody can learn to take criticism better. I just came into my head. I can work on positive criticism. And is that even like I have a hard time accepting compliments when people are like, hey, you look pretty, or hey, you did that really good on my, and I usually come back with something funny.
You get
yeah. And so I have a really, really hard time with
staying positive,
with the positive of it. Like negative, I'm like, okay, cool, I can listen, but I don't know, it makes me feel weird, and I need to just sit back and just be like, thank you. And I don't need to be like, say something funny or be sarcastic or.
You did a good job today with that. We told her she was pretty this morning. She was trying to tell us that she was being a little bit self-deprecating, and you did. You just said thank you.
Yeah. So I'm working on it. I'm working on the pretty part and saying thank you.
Nice.
So horses are outside the window.
Yeah, speaking of ADHD, I'm like, squirrel. Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on to our second topic. If your life was a movie, who would play you and what would the title be? Do you want to go first, Mom?
Okay, let's see. I would like Bette Midler to play me. And
I think that's a good choice.
The title of my movie would be On Vacation.
On Vacation. I like it.
What was the working title you had?
The other one was Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
See, I can see like
Vacation,
but I can also see both titles though for your life. Like I think
Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It could be in like maybe the adult film section or something.
Yeah. No, not
Not with Bette Midler starring.
Unless you're into that.
Oh, that's too funny.
I'll stick with on baby too.
Right? What about you?
Okay. I would I only say this because nothing about the actress herself. People tell me that I look like her a lot is Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I've had that a couple times. Maybe it's the cheeks and the baby face, but Jennifer Lawrence would play me. And my title would be There Appears to Have Been a Struggle. But it's a dark comedy and there's no murder. Maybe it's a murder dark comedy, but that's
Oh, that's good. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I could see Jennifer Lawrence playing you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Mine from like 20s to 80s would be Anne Hathaway. And then my older self would be Meryl Streep or Diane Keaton. But mom just told me today Diane Keaton just died a couple months ago. I know that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like very upset by this because who's going to play me in my movie?
That was a sad one.
Yeah. And so I had no idea. But so I guess Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway. And the title would be Undecided. But not that I'm undecided, but that's the title of the movie is Undecided.
Why is that?
Just because I'm undecided about where I want to eat, what I want to eat, what kind of like clothing. Like I was telling my bestie a couple years ago, I said, I want to change my style. She goes, what do you want? And I said, well, I want classy. So Diane Keaton.
Yeah.
And I said, but I also want to be country chic. Two opposite things, but that's what I'm wearing cow print today, but tomorrow I might be wearing a blouse. So I'm just undecided.
Diane Keaton would have been a good one. Darn, now that you say that.
Yeah.
You'll have to settle for me again.
Yeah, well, I'm not settling. I'm like, geez, easy. But yeah, so just undecided. My clothing and Erin, that's the biggest struggle that we have. Where do you want to eat? I don't.
We'll put the movie rights in. I send it to.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Well, that's all we have for you today. We'll see you next time.
Bye.